lead of the game.
Josh Powell is still in the ballgame at the power forward position with Dampier at center.
And Terry Daniels in Stackhouse, the 1, 2, and 3. Terry against Telfair, posting up Stackhouse. On the screen, in the lane. Now shot, Powell, and Powell unable to get it. Dampier found it, out to Terry. 3-0 late in the shot clock. Telfair came away with a rebound.
Iverson unable to get over that little bump in the road and take the first lead in the ballgame.
You may have just seen Dirk coming up the sideline to the scorer's table, ready to check into the next chance as Telfair missed badly. 1 minute gone by fourth quarter.
Daniels backs it up, play the point guard position.
And he makes a move around Brian Skinner, and his floater is short. Dampier tip in wouldn't go. 35.5% shooting tonight for the Mavs. Intercept, no. Terry almost got to it.
Yes, he did.
Darius Miles over Dampier.
There's some offensive pressure.
Terry slings it up ahead to Dampier and a foul.
Now, see, if you walk the ball up the floor in that situation, now, I want you to hear this.
I'm listening.
Okay.
All ears, Bob.
You walk the ball up the floor in that situation, you don't drive it out of the backcourt. You don't draw that foul. And that's why you cannot, as the game wears on, drift into a pattern where you're going half court. You need to drive the ball, push the ball, make teams get back against you, make them stop the ball, make them close out on shooters.
Powell went out of the game at 3 rebounds and assists. There's 5 minutes on the floor. There's Jarrett Jack with a rebound as Dirk missed. Mavs.com scoreboard this quarter brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. No scoring in the first 150 of the fourth quarter. Randolph on Dampier. Bump.
He's so tough at that.
Score the basket with a foul.
He drives. He'll shoot the shot outside. He's strong. He really handles contact well. Several times tonight we've seen him do this. Dampier bumps him again. And look at, he is still up into the air, under control, and comes away with the shot.
Looking square at a 30-point game. He's got 27 tonight. He's made it to 30 2 other times this year, and he's bearing down on it, that is, for a third time.
He's got 8 rebounds to go along with the 27 points.
Harris to Dirk with Dallas down 5. Make it 3. Levinsky splashes that one in.
I think you have to keep going to Dirk because I don't believe Randolph can handle him well.
Well, it's been the primary source of offense tonight for Dallas. Dirk's got 23.
Everybody down.
Terry 15, Harris 10. Jarrett Jack, the rookie.
Here he goes again.
Randolph overshot. And finally, Dallas has it. Dirk with Telfair running up behind him and committing a foul. About 35 feet for the hoop. It's the second team foul of the quarter on the Blazers. Dallas would love to get into the penalty situation quickly here in the fourth quarter because they've had few opportunities at the line tonight. A team that is 6th in the league in free throw attempts a game at 29 has only 14 this evening. Portland is outshot at 23-14, making 23-16 because Harris is going to get 2 here, Bob.
That's how you get to the line, right there.
And Harris.
And that's a very good point because unconsciously players have a tendency to come toward the middle of the floor. That's where all the action is. You don't want that. You want them to stay as wide as they can until something happens. Then they can make their move to the middle.
Oh, shot just fell down, and Randolph will miss the chippy. Stackhouse for the rebound. Devin Harris blocking foul. Jarrett Jack. We've seen that call go against Harris on a couple of occasions tonight. But this time, it's Jarrett Jack with a foul, and that's the 4th in the quarter on the Trailblazers. For Jarrett Jack, that's his 36% tonight. But they've managed to win some games recently with shooting a 4%. Stackhouse, back to Jason Terry. Shot clock has trickled down to 6 as Terry tries, and this is off the backboard, but Chop has it back. And now Levinsky for the lead. And it's out on the 3. Blake with a rebound.
That would have been the first lead of the ball game for Dallas.
That's right. Steve Blake averaging 17.5 in the last 4 games, points-wise. Has 8 tonight. He secured that 4th rebound of the game. Devin Harris closed on him when he got the ball in the corner. Now Blake will go back to Zach Randolph. Left hand, no, and Devin Harris has it. And that is Miles, who is able to make a nice play to deflect it and steal it.
Just active hands. He got his arms up and his hands up, and he got a piece of the basketball. Portland gets it back with that 2-point lead.
Miles got the offensive rebound after Blake missed. Over the top pass, Skinner to Zach Randolph.
There's your high-low game. It's a Tim Duncan, David Robinson high-low game right there. Or more importantly, Robinson on the high post, Duncan down low. It's well done by Portland.
Jason Terry. Remember, Dallas just needs one more team foul for Portland to be in the penalty. Stackhouse turn around. Got the shot down. 2-point game again. Stackhouse 8 points tonight. Zach Randolph leads Portland with 29. Steve Blake on the opposite side of the floor from Randolph, working with a dribble and a defensive 3 seconds call on a Chop. Chop has 6 rebounds tonight. He also has a block shot. He sends Steve Blake to the free throw line. Portland, we know they're bad at the foul line. They have been exceptionally bad tonight by their standards. 58% for the Blazers tonight, 14 of 24.
That might end up costing them a game. Now, Skinner goes out of the game again. Ratliff comes back in. So that high-low game, getting Skinner the ball and allowing him to find Randolph down low, that's going to go away with Skinner on the bench.
Jack went back out of the game, and Dixon returned, and Randolph knocks down ahead of the key jump shot.
He's a tough cover. That's what makes him so tough.
There's 31 for Randolph. That averages just 15 a game in his last 11. Again, a player that averages 18 a night for the season. Great line for Randolph, 13 to 22. Stackhouse for 3. 1-point game.
Now you can't pass up that shot. Not a scorer like Stack, regardless of shooting percentage.
29% on 3-point tries this year for Stackhouse, and he's into double digits. Miles, elevating foul line. And Dirk comes out of traffic with the rebounds. Tightens the inline. And will push it for Dallas.
That's number 9 in rebounds for Nowitzki.
Stackhouse fouled, and an opportunity for Dallas to forge in front at the free throw strike. 2 for Stackhouse, a foul on Darius Miles, his 3rd of the game.
Stackhouse wide open. Swing the ball. That's what happens. He steps in a little bit closer to the 3-point line and splashes it home.
31-year-old Jerry Stackhouse, 2-time All-Star, 2nd season with the Mavericks, making his first free throw. 56 games last year with Dallas. Tonight his 34th game of this season. He has tied it at 69, and here are the Mavericks looking at their first lead of the game if Stackhouse can drop this one. And he does. About 6:19 to play. The Mavericks trail for the first 3.5 quarters, and now another sellout crowd is rising to its collective feet. Steve Blake on the screen by Zach Randolph. Let's see what the young Trailblazers, average age of 24 years old. What do they have in store for the stretch drive? Well, they grab the lead right back. And a Darius Miles jump shot. He had missed his last 7 attempts. He's 4 for 14 in the game.
It's going to be a fun 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
Terry off the screen. Stackhouse, he just got a whistle against Miles. Now it's Randolph covering him on the switch. Stackhouse missed. Ratliff the rebound. And Blake up ahead to Randolph. No! Rolled on at the rim.
How big is that miss?
Chop with the rebound. And Dirk brought it up the floor. And he will drive on Darius Miles and shoot free throws with 5:24 left in the game. First a timeout. Darius Miles. 4th foul. Dallas in front by 1.
Harris back in the game with Terry.
And he's covering Steve Blake. Blake feeds inside to Randolph. Misses the jump hook. He then slapped it out of bounds. Dallas has the ball.
You see him split Jop and Nowitzki, though, to get to the ball, Mark?
Yes, he did.
He split both those guys. He was behind both of them, and he split them getting to the basketball.
Randolph is 7 of 14 here in the second half. 13 of 24 for the game. Stackhouse off the jerk screen. Killed his dribble on the shot clock. Ticking down to 7. Devin Harris on Juan Dixon. A dish out. Terry catches it. She is in there.
Penetration by Harris, although the guy didn't come off Terry very far. Harris makes a difference.
75-71. 10-2 push by Dallas. Stackhouse fouling Darius Miles. Mavericks are okay, though, foul-wise. It's only the second team foul in the fourth quarter. Drive and kick.
Harris with the ball. You see Harris gets down inside, draws the defense, and then you kick it out. Mark Cuban likes it.
Josh Howard as well to Mark's left. Juan Dixon takes the pass and was able to score that in deep.
A good adjustment in the air. It's not something he was looking to do. He adjusted to that. Tells you just a little bit about his athleticism.
He averages 13 a game. He's got 14 tonight. Terry trying to answer.
Hitting big shots again. Jason Terry.
20 tonight for Terry. Over the last 6 games, averaging about 23. 23rd game of the year where Terry scored 20 or better, as he's got 20 on the night. 8 of 18 shooting lines. That's a Blake, rather, off the rattle screen, scored with a foul. And the Trailblazers not going away. They have not wilted once Dallas pushed in front.
He never put it down after the whistle, so he gets continuation. The whistle blows. He never puts it back down on the floor, so it counts. He's a tough competitor. He doesn't look like, you know, a kid you're going to see. You heard that whistle in the air. Doesn't look like a kid you'd see in the NBA. You know what I mean? He looks young.
Missed the free throw and job of the rebound. And Bob Blake is 2 of 5 on free throws tonight, only 81% on the year.
A bit unusual.
And now Blake commits a foul. By the way, Blake, 26 years old, and had a good birthday, Steve Blake did this year. It was on February 26th. And of course...
And what are you trying to say?
Well, we know some other people who have that birthday.
You talking about yourself again?
Actually, I was talking about Johnny Cash, Bob. He also has that birthday. Did you know that? He does. Seriously.
Oh, boy. You are something. I'll tell you what. No. Don't.
Here's Terry at the line. 79-75 is the Dallas lead. You know you want me to sing, Bob.
No, I don't.
Blake's got 10 tonight, but again, 2 of 5 on free throws. You see Terry with 22 points after his 2 freebies went down. 10 to shoot. Randolph. Portland, almost every possession in which he has played in the second half has initiated offense through him. Blake leaps and misses, coming up the baseline, and it's dug out by Devin Harris.
Look at the offensive pressure by him.
He's got it in fifth gear, but Darius Miles blocks him at the rim. Wow.
What a play.
Wow.
Darius Miles.
Loose ball. Juan Dixon has it. Blazers down by 4. Steve Blake, a three-pointer is good. No, make that a 2. Make that a 2.
That is Steve Blake. He can do that. 16 consecutive points he scored in Portland against the Mavericks.
At the end of the fourth quarter and on into overtime. Harris. Gives to Dirk. Dirk has 25 tonight. He's got a chance to shoot over Steve Blake here. Miles comes over, helps on the double, and blocks the shot.
Good read by Darius Miles.
He's had a couple of big blocks in the last minute. Portland has 9 block shots tonight. Timeout taken. Boy, Nate McMillan has been hollering for that timeout for 7 or 8 seconds.
But let me tell you why I don't think you take that timeout. You had a mismatch. Randolph was being guarded by Stackhouse. You have to recognize that and hold on your timeout. Get the ball to Randolph.
Play goes inside to Theo Ratliff, who ties it up at 79. Ratliff has 6 points and 6 rebounds tonight.
And that's where Ratliff will score, right down there.
The last 4 points of the game scored by the Trailblazers. Now Dallas looking to regain the lead. Terry off the and Jason Terry has delivered big time in the fourth quarter. 24 points tonight for Terry. He's made 4 of his last 6 shots. Randolph coming down the lane. Oh, and in traffic he's able to get it in there.
Is he tough or what? Strong, tough. Been saying that the whole game.
33 for Randolph. Devin Harris driving down the lane. And foul. The last 9 Dallas points have been scored by Jason Terry. Now it's Devin Harris shooting free throws.
And Harris once again. See, you're not running a half-court set there because of Harris's ability to penetrate. He has the ball, and he can get inside.
First good for Devin Harris.
And remember that when that guy does that, everything that happens is good. He either draws a defender, finds the open man who scores. He either scores himself or he draws a foul.
You see how good Dallas is win-loss wise when Terry and Nowitzki both pass the 20-point plateau. They win 80% of the time. Both have surpassed 20 tonight. 25 for Dirk, 24 for Terry, and now 13 for Devin Harris as he made the 2 free throws to break the tie with 1:19 to go. And the Trailblazers take time.
No question about that. You don't know what that was all about, but has to be on his mind. The Mavericks have a foul to give. Folks, that's big right now. I'm sure that the players know that. Coaches have informed them they have 1 to give. You don't want to use it on a shooter.
Steve Blake, Dirk with the rebound, and he has a double-double. That's his 22nd this year.
Rebound number 10 for Nowitzki. Mavericks still have a foul to give, and that is huge.
They have all the timeouts. As Terry off the screen gives it to Dirk with 8 on the shot clock. Cross-court, Terry Stackhouse looking for a dagger 3, and he comes away with 1. Stackhouse gives Dallas a 5-point lead with 41 seconds to go, and the Blazers burn another timeout.
And the Mavericks still have the foul to give with 41 seconds. And that is big now. You can run some time with Jason Terry. Not his total number of minutes, but with Jason Terry.
His total number of minutes is 31 right now. And Dallas had that foul to give, and Devin Harris just took it.
And that's the right time to take it.
But Portland doesn't have much time to be wasting here. Finally, Dixon. Oh, Dixon heaving a 3. Wow.
He didn't get a good look at it, I'll tell you that, but it went in, and it counts.
Foul on Blake, 22.3 left in the game. To Terry.
He was close to the area where Kobe Bryant made that 3 here against the Mavericks. A little bit closer in. Kobe was a little bit farther.
It aided the cause as Dallas got into the penalty in fairly short order in the fourth quarter. And by virtue of that, they have free throwed their way, if you will, to a potential win. And Darius Miles comes away with a 3, and Portland keeps on hanging around. And you want to talk about Christmas coming early. Darius Miles 0 for 7 this year on 3s, buries 1, and it's back to a 1-possession game.
That is the guy you want. You want him to shoot this shot. I'm serious, folks. He's only shot 7 all year, and he's missed all 7 of them, and he bombs it home. I mean, wow.
The 3rd pick of the 2000 draft, Darius Miles from East St. Louis, Illinois, 24 years old. Miles has 11 points tonight. Jerry Stackhouse was fouled by Deshaun Leonard. 2 free throws. Got the first. Remember, Portland out of timeouts. Dallas now a 2-possession lead. Dallas won a news NBA scoreboard. Early lead for the Clippers at home against the Spurs, 15-12.
Deshaun Leonard was trying to hide down at the other end of the floor. Griffin finally found him down there. He really was. He just kind of slipped down the other end of the floor.
7th game of 20 or more this year for Jerry Stackhouse.
I may have been the only one that saw him go down there.
Adrian Griffin spotted him, and there's a foul or a step on the inline. Oh, it's a step on the inline by Juan Dixon.
Adrian Griffin took away the...
He had kind of an open shot But this team will. They'll play behind him, and then they'll dig in and double team and make him become a passer. They know in a high-scoring game he won't want to do that.
7.5 left first quarter. Just got the picture back, we understand, on FSN. So you've missed just basically a lot of that. Boris Diaw and the Phoenix Suns hitting wide open outside shots. And they're on top by 10 again.
Everybody in their lineup can shoot the three-point shot. Diaw can, Sean Marion can, Tim Thomas can. So you've got to play on the perimeter. Boy, and that's why this team is a threat to go all the way in the West.
Zach Randolph takes the high arcing shot and hits, as Phoenix obviously, like every other team does, doubling Zach Randolph every time he catches it on the low block.
Yeah, and they'll try to run Zach down to the corners. They'll try to get Tim Thomas open.
Oh, look at the defense by Blake. Takes it away from Nash. Nash tried to cross him over, and Blake just picked his pocket. And here's Martell Webster the other way for Portland.
Yeah, the problem is Nash doesn't care. He'll do it 1,000 times.
And Blake for three at the other end. So Steve Blake got that possession for Portland, then ends it with a three.
And we said in the pregame, Steve Blake has to be a shooter tonight. They'll let him shoot out there.
Diaw baseline. Just a little pick and roll there on the low block by Phoenix. As you said, I mean, they don't call many sets as Mike D'Antoni. And a lot of times it's just Steve Nash coming down on the fast break and the secondary fast break and doing a little freelance. Blake again, this a long two. Rebound pulled down by the NBA's leading rebounder, Sean Marion.
You can have three guys hustle back if you're the Blazers, but you better have five guys because they'll start that pick and roll right there, and that's what Nash does. If you go behind the pick and roll like Steve Blake just did there, he'll stop. Very capable of making the outside three-point shot. As MB told you, he scored 31 last night on the Wolves because they went behind the pick and roll all night long.
Blake down low, Ratliff the low catch and jump hook with the right hand, rolls in, and Theo looks like he came up lame. He's limping and calling for a substitution from the bench. I'm not sure if anybody saw him on the Blazer bench as he is hobbling on his left leg. I'm not sure what happened.
I think he came down on someone's ankle, and it was his ankle that he hurt. I think it's the same ankle that he hurt.
It is the same ankle that he turned against Toronto, and Portland needs to take a timeout. And that's all they need is to have Theo Ratliff.
Bigger than people think. You know, he plays so much like a small guard. You think he's 6 foot, but he's about 6'3½", so much bigger than you would imagine.
Tim Thomas shot the air ball that time from three-point land for Phoenix. Blazers back looking to draw closer. Miles, tough shot on the baseline, wouldn't fall, tried to get it back, but the rebound pulled down by Raja Bell. Now Nash with Miles on him goes to Raja Bell. They all have the green light, obviously, at any time from behind the three-point line.
And notice no one for the Phoenix Suns went for the offensive boards.
Webster for three, that's back iron. Kriapa, the athletic move to keep it alive, now says, I'll take a three, and hits in the corner. So Kriapa, you earned it. You might as well get this shot. And Blazers back within three.
The Blazers have to remember, don't have fool's gold this early in the game. This is the tempo that Phoenix loves right now. They love you to try to outscore them.
Nash gets in trouble inside, nearly throws it away. It's caught by Marion in the corner, and he cans the three. It was that close to being a 4-on-2 Blazer fast break at least. Instead, it turns in to a three-pointer for Phoenix, and now all starters for the Suns have scored.
Yeah, Kriapa's such a help guy. He's trying to help his teammates out. He has the ability to lead his man. A guy like Sean Marion will make a three.
Blake, tough drive on Boris Diaw, and somehow he got that ball over Diaw, who's a good shot blocker, and got it home as Blake now taken out on a pick by Marion. They try to go to Marion, who had the smaller Blake on him, and they turn it over as Jarrett Jack will check in for Portland.
I think that was a moving pick on Blake, too, that last time. He really got wrapped. But see how Nash lets you penetrate? They'll let the guards penetrate. I mean, you have no trouble penetrating against them because if you score, they just run it right back at you, and they figure the guards under the basket won't be able to defend back on the other end. It's a philosophy, and they know it well, and you kind of get caught in the trap sometime of outscoring them.
Foul on Sean Marion, holding Kriapa the cutter through the middle, and with that we have a timeout. That's the first team foul on Phoenix in the quarter. 2:51 left, opening quarter, Suns by 4.
Last year, Landmark sold the most Fords in the entire Northwest. But it wasn't just because of our low prices. A lot of customers choose Landmark because of our award-winning parts and service departments, where you'll find the most Ford master technicians in the Northwest. They're open weekdays until midnight and on Saturdays. Drop off your car and our free service shuttle will take you home or work, and we'll pick you up again. So come see us at Landmark Ford in Tigard. We're just off 5-5 at the Haines Street exit.
Oh, man. Vin, this whole show is awesome.
I know.
Hey, boys. Mr. Wolfson, what are you guys up to tonight? Studying. You? Grading papers. See you in class on Monday?
Got a spicy side? Try McDonald's new spicy premium chicken. A tender real chicken breast, bold chipotle spices on a honey wheat roll. It's the hot new premium chicken sandwich.
No way.
2:51 left opening quarter here at the Rose Garden. Phoenix has led by as many as 10. Their lead has been cut down to 4. Well, the Trailblazers set a franchise record for fewest turnovers in a game against the Suns back in 1991. What was the number? That is the Aflac trivia question tonight. Mike Rice, so think about that.
I was there, and I think I remember.
Tune in to FSN Live tonight. We'll have complete coverage of this game from the Rose Garden, plus all the latest on the NCAA selection. Of course, earlier today, FSN Live tonight at 10 right here on FSN.
If you look at three-pointers so far, they've taken 8. They average 25 three-pointers a game, and they make 10. They've made 4 of the 8, so they're ahead of schedule on their three-pointers. If you think, boy, do they shoot a lot? That's just average right now, what they're shooting.
Zach double team, Diaw and Barbosa. Zach doesn't get the shot off in time, and it's a shot clock violation, Portland. And well, that's been the defensive strategy, as I mentioned earlier. Double team Zach and make him kick out of it.
Yeah, and some teams don't want to do that. They want to check but the Blazers are the worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. So why not double team Zach and let the guys try to shoot three-pointers?
Kriapa, the impressive block. Now the Trailblazers are last in a couple of categories, but I'm not going to let you slip away with that one. Portland is 20th in the NBA out of 30 in three-point shooting.
Oh, okay. I three-point made.
Okay.
That's what I was going for, yeah. Made three-pointers.
I was going to say, Kriapa checks out, gets a nice hand. Steve Blake does as well, who got off to a nice start. Sebastian Telfair into the ball game, along with Brian Skinner for the Trailblazers.
There's the start of their offense, a pick and roll. And Blake sees how you're going to play it, and the Blazers played that pretty well.
Diaw, the shot clock buzzer. Skinner the rebound for Portland. So all things considered, Mike Rice, following that start for the Trailblazers, 2 minutes left here in the first, to be down by 4 isn't such a bad thing.
Yeah, you got to go side to side like the Blazers just did there. If you throw the ball from one side of the court to the other, they can't dig, they can't get into the passing lanes, and they won't double team as quickly. If you just come down and throw it into the post, then they can double team. See, that time they had no organized double team, and Zach Randolph, if he goes one-on-one, Diaw is not a good post defender at all. So if you can get him alone with Zach, Zach will score on him.
Zach Randolph a chance at the three-point play here and misses the free throw, but keeps it alive and digs it out near midcourt. Zach, a better free throw shooter than we have seen of him this season, 72%, and missing there and then getting fouled. So it looked like Diaw might have stepped on Zach's foot, but he looks to be all right.
And I agree with you, MB, on Diaw probably going to be the most improved player just because he's in a system with Nash that fits him. Now Tim Thomas will come back in the game. What a pickup he was. He got bought out by the Chicago Bulls. He hadn't played for the Bulls all year long. They finally bought him his contract out, and he signed with the Phoenix Suns, and now he'll be eligible for the playoffs, probably around the same time the playoffs that Amari Stoudemire comes back. So Brian Grant may be back at that time.
Yeah, this is Thomas's 6th game with Phoenix. He was just signed March 3rd.
And Kurt Thomas will be back at that time.
Blazers, meanwhile, on a 13-3 run, and they've tied the ball game as Nash going around Skinner. Blazers doing a nice job of boxing him in, but James Jones left open, couldn't hit. Rebound, fought for and won by Jarrett Jack. Trailblazers look for their first lead. Miles in the corner, left open, wouldn't take the shot. Trying to get it to Randolph inside. Now he's got it against James Jones. Nash hanging to help. Blazers swing it. Jarrett Jack takes the deep 2, and it's long, and the rebound to Jones.
But Sebastian did the right thing. He knows the scouting report said go from one side of the court to the other, and their defense can't help out. He tried it. Jack just missed the jumper.
Well, Suns, after that hot start, have gone cold. Tim Thomas tries another 3 and hits. Shot an air ball his last attempt, but get right back on the horse, I guess, and he buries this one.
Well, we're keeping track of pick and roll plays tonight. Right now it's at 6. 6 pick and roll plays since we started keeping track. I think we missed 2 early ones. Did we? No. Yeah, we did. That's 8.
You've got Daryl Guyman working overtime for you, our statistician, and then you question his addition.
Daryl knows the stuff.
Telfair then hits just inside the 3-point line, and a good shot by Telfair with the shot clock becoming a factor as about a 6-second difference, shot clock, game clock here, Phoenix. Tim Thomas wouldn't take the 3 this time, but is fouled by Telfair. And that is only Portland's 2nd team foul of the quarter, first in the last 2 minutes, so it'll be inbounded on the side by the Suns.
Usually the Suns bench will not be outscored. They have some firepower coming off that bench. Barbosa comes in and leads the NBA in 3-point shooting. And, you know, he is... Sometimes he's the backup for Nash. Other times he plays the 2 spot.
James Jones, a 3 that's off, but the rebound pulled down by Thomas. Shot blocked by Skinner. Now Phoenix can hold for the final shot if they want, but Marion doesn't. And now Portland has it. 3 seconds left. Telfair. 3-pointer deep. No! It rattles out as Sebastian earlier this season hit a half-court shot at Denver at the end of the first half and needed to scoot back a little bit this time, I guess. But the Trailblazers end the first quarter down by only 1 after trailing by as many as 10 to these Phoenix Suns here tonight.
Points in the paint. So one of the reasons the Blazers are only 3 down, they're matching them with points in the paint.
Blazers missed their first 6 attempts of the first quarter, but ended up shooting 44% for the quarter. So a nice comeback as Miles wants James Jones here. Hangs, goes high off the glass, and gets the roll. Difficult shot by Miles, but he got it down for his first 2.
We get the report that's ankle tendonitis. Theo will try to come back.
All right. As Eddie House, who's checked in for Phoenix, dishes down low to Marion. Ball knocked away by Skinner and picked up by Miles.
Remember, Phoenix played last night. They had a big win over the Timberwolves, and the Blazers taking advantage of it right now.
Zach trying to take it on Tim Thomas. Wild shot. Got a little rim, but that was it. James Jones the rebound for Phoenix. Not a good shot, that time by Zach.
Well, that's the first time he forced it against the double team. That's what Mike D'Antoni over on the Phoenix bench wants him to do in this high-scoring game. Everybody thinks they're going to score well against this team.
Barbosa had the shot blocked by Miles, who came from the weak side. Then it's off of Portland. 7 to shoot for Phoenix. Good defensive play by Darius to come over from his position.
Yeah, Barbosa, and it's best the big guys in the back line try to help out. If you help out from the wings, then they'll pass it to the 3-point shooter. So it's got to be your big guys that do the shot blocking and the helping out.
Shot clock at 3. Barbosa left open for a 3. Long with it. Rebound, Skinner. Nice box out by Skinner, and then hustle to grab that. Portland still looking for its first lead. And they could get it here. Zach Randolph fouled. He'll shoot 2. Zach Randolph talking to Rodney Mott, saying, why didn't you make that call? You were right on top of it. It had to be Matt Boland who came from the backside.
You know, a lot of times they tell you you can fast break a team that likes to fast break, run it right back at them, but Phoenix is not in that category. They don't go to the offensive boards. They don't care about rebounding. They play a small athletic team, so they'll run it back, as you see Victor Kriapa and Theo Ratliff comparing notes on the Blazer bench. And you need a bench against this Phoenix team because they are ready to play. They play at altitude all the time, and they don't have a trouble running all the time.
Zach Randolph, 8 points now in the game. He hits 2 free throws. Portland has its first lead after trailing early, as I mentioned, by as many as 10. Eddie House's pass knocked away, picked up by Skinner. Portland back 3 on 2. Jarrett Jack tried to go to Miles, knocked away, and Barbosa saves to Marion. Eddie House for 2. And that's off, as House is one of those guys who can get hot, as Barbosa steals that pass. They try to lob to Marion. Wild exchange. Marion puts it in.
Don't play Phoenix game with them. If you try to get wild with them, they love it. They have a big smile on their face, especially Eddie House. He's their guy that'll pull the trigger at any time, at any place in the court, shooting-wise.
Telfair, given the shot by House, wouldn't take it. Zach doubled again. Jarrett Jack takes a 3 out top, rims it off. Skinner the rebound, knocked away from behind and out of bounds to the Suns. Bennett Salvatore with the call. Skinner, who never complains, chatting with him, and Nate McMillan furious on Portland's sideline.
Well, they're saying Salvatore. If you look at Skinner now, pretty good block from up above, and then the ball hits him on the head, and he goes after it, but goes out of bounds. So I think Bennett Salvatore had the right call. No Nash in the game.
Eddie House, Dial playing a 2-man game. Jarrett Jack stays with House. James Jones gets free inside. Good defense by Randolph, not to foul, and just knocked it away. And then a foul on Phoenix on James Jones on Darius Miles. So second team foul on the Suns here in the quarter. 8:54 left, first half.
Is a team that really has an excellent chance to make the playoffs. Only a game and a half behind the Lakers.
Trying to post up Miles. James Jones doing a good job on defense. Shot clock down to 5. Zach has to throw up a long 2, and it's off. The rebound pulled down by Eddie House.
Blazers really have worked the last day and a half on getting back on defense, and it shows tonight.
House wouldn't take the 3, takes the running 2. Eddie House, a guy who has bounced around in the NBA, of course, came out of Arizona State, as Pac-10 fans remember. But House is one of those guys, streaky, to put it mildly. Telfair blows by him on defense and lays it in.
Because they run so much, you saw House, their guards are noted for letting people get around them, but they push it right back and try to outscore you. So the defense doesn't really hurt, because Nash does that a lot of times. As you see, Bassey right here made a move that made him famous in Brooklyn right there. Boy, he just left House alone. And this lineup right here doesn't have any great shot blockers in there. Diao will try to get back, and Thomas to help out, but they were a little slow that time.
Diao, shot clock down to 5, going to take it on Skinner. Skinner doesn't buy the head fake, but Diao gets the kind roll, and he's got 6 points, and the Phoenix lead back to 3.
And both Thomas and Diao have the green light to do that. Back their guy in and take the shot. That's the only time it's not pick and roll for Nash, is when they think they have an advantage at that forward spot.
Skinner has it down low, much bigger than the defender, Diao, and he puts it in off the glass, showing a little offense.
Yeah, once again, you can muscle Diao down there. He's not a great post defender. Same with Jones. He's another one you get a little physical with. He doesn't like the physical play.
Barbosa for 3. Boy, if you give him any room, any of these Phoenix guards, they will take the 3. And as I mentioned earlier, number 1 in the NBA in three-point percentage. And in fact, 43% in their last 28 games. So shooting lights out. Last night, for example, against Minnesota, Phoenix was 11 for 19 from behind the three-point line. Miles takes a deep 2 and drops that down.
And Minnesota was really playing them out on the perimeter. Normally, they'll take about 7 more three-pointers a game than they did last night, but they didn't need to. They were hitting them so much.
Diao along 2. By the way, they're second in field goal percentage, so not just hitting the three-pointers, but also the twos.
Yeah, they lead the NBA in scoring, and they shoot a great percentage. And Barbosa there, as you said, he shoots 48%.
Number 1 in the NBA, as he has just recently qualified with enough makes and enough attempts to be listed among the league leaders, and now he is number 1.
Yeah, and they picked up his option last year for $1.8 million. So they're getting a guy coming off the bench that's doing that at $1.8 million, and Diaw is getting $1.6 million.
And before the season, some thought Barbosa was expendable, and in fact, the Suns had talked with several teams about moving him for relatively little. As Eddie House comes away with the Portland turnover, Raja Bell travels with the ball and skips to Barbosa. Barbosa down the middle, showing us that as Skinner nearly takes it off the rim.
And it's tough trying to help out against this Phoenix team and rebound. Boy, Skinner has done a good job of it tonight.
Diaw out of bounds as they came over to help on Zach Randolph. So Portland will have it with 15 to shoot when we come back. Suns on top by 4, just over the midway point of quarter number 2. Clock at 10 for Portland out of the timeout. Telfair pulls up from 15 and drops it down. And if Sebastian Telfair can master that mid-range jumper that he just hit, he will be deadly and will have a very, very good NBA career.
Yeah, in his mind, he always wants to attack the rim. But as the Blazers lose their men and get away with
Raja Bell missing the three-pointer.
Yeah, and but now Sebastian,
they lob to Skinner on the fast break, and Brian Skinner gets an up-close meeting with Blazers president Steve Patterson as Portland turns it over for the 7th time. And not a good turnover, and I guess it's one of the things coaches will say, keep in mind who you're throwing the ball to. As Brian Skinner, not a high flyer, and coming down on the break there with a man on his hip.
Yeah, he should have tried to catch that two-handed, but he was looking more where he was going to land rather than catch the ball.
Well, they're having a clock issue as the clock is at 5:24 here in the arena. You see the game clock we have at 5:55, and they're checking the master control over there. And take a look at, here's Brian Skinner introducing himself to Blazers president Steve Patterson. Steve will have to get a towel now. And you see, take a look at the clock as the mighty Hank Ham puts the glasses.
Oh, this is a tough matchup for the young man, Brian Skinner.
Nash kicks it back. Tim Thomas for 3, and he hits with 1 on the shot clock.
See, at that time, they triple team Nash. Now, that is a recipe for disaster. Maybe one guy comes over and helps out, no more. If you have 3 in the middle, he'll find the open man as he did with Tim Thomas. Tim Thomas has found a gold mine now. He'll become a much, much better player as Brian Skinner erupts.
That's the edge of his range. I think he would be the first to tell you that. But he drops that down. It's 39-36. Phoenix on top. Boris Diaw, not a great three-point shooter, but he can do that, especially when there's no resistance inside as the Trailblazers move out to try and follow the Suns players who were exiting the key, and nobody stayed home.
That wasn't Brian Skinner's fault. He helped out on Steve Nash. Then he got back out on his man, and Darius Miles said, I got to stay out on Raja Bell. And that's the dilemma of it. Now watch Skinner here. He's waiting for Darius Miles to help him out, and Darius Miles looks at him like,
well, and that's what having three-point shooters will do for you. As you see Telfair and Miles both start to head out to their men expecting the kick out that we've seen in this first half, and nobody stayed home again. Diaw just laid it up and in. Jammed it, that is.
And Diaw has the green light to do it along with Thomas. So they really, now Kurt Thomas couldn't do that. He's injured. Or Brian Grant.
Miles gets the pass inside from Blake. He hands off to Skinner, and the shot is blocked by Sean Marion out of bounds. Portland will have it 5 to shoot.
That's one reason they're the leading defensive rebounding team in the NBA, because Sean Marion can block a shot and he can get a defensive rebound at the same time. He saves them so much, almost like Joel Przybilla with the Blazers.
Miles has to get it in. He does to Skinner. Skinner tries to lob inside to Zach. He wasn't ready for it. Marion picks it up. Phoenix back 2-on-1. Blake against Thomas. Thomas puts it in, and Phoenix is working that lead back up. It was at 10 earlier. Portland has led at one time by only one, but the Suns now on top 43-36.
Suns are gambling on defense and getting away with it. The Blazers are shooting after 1 or 2 passes, not making the Suns work on defense.
Telfair the miss. Skinner kept it alive, and the Blazers get a new possession. 3 seconds in the key. Defensive 3 seconds.
Offensive rebounds, 7-2.
I believe they called that on Sean Marion, as Steve Blake will shoot the technical.
Remember early in the game we were talking about the Blazers moving the ball from one side of the court to the other, and then the Suns couldn't help out inside. They quit doing that now. They're going one-on-one early in the shot clock, and the Suns are set defensively for the Blazers to do that. The Blazers have to get back to being unselfish and moving the basketball. Very difficult for a team that's out of the playoff run. Late in the game, that's the motivation for most NBA teams, the playoffs, and that's why they become unselfish.
6-point Phoenix lead. Randolph double clutches. Telfair the offensive board, and another possession for Portland. Third opportunity. You see how they sag and are helping and doubling on Randolph. Portland swings it to Blake. Now Kriapa in the middle of the key. Takes it to the rack and dunks. Boy, athletic move by Kriapa, even though it's disallowed by Bennett Salvatore. Foul is on Boris Diaw. On Sean Marion, excuse me. Take a look at the move by Kriapa.
Yeah, they're not quite sure about Kriapa's inside game, so they didn't know whether to come and double team him or not. That's why he had a nice pump fake, got the defender in the air, and could take the dribble. Now, if that was Zach Randolph, they'd have been there for the double.
Telfair around the corner takes the shot from 15, and Nash pulls down the board for Phoenix. Tim Thomas down low. Diaw skips. Marion will try the three. This is long. Rebound. Kicks out. It's so long to Raja Bell. That won't stop Phoenix, though. Marion, same spot, same result. Rebound Miles. Is the second shot not quite as long as the first. Got a little more iron.
That's as good as Phoenix gets on offensive rebound. They may get one, but then they just get back. They don't want you to score on the easy ones. The Blazers are helping them out by turning it over.
Telfair for three from Miles. So Sebastian, who just missed the shot a moment ago, takes another one, this one a couple of steps back, and drops that one. Telfair with 9 off the bench for Portland.
And they're hanging right in there, 43-40. That's the type of score you want against
And he
Phoenix.
picks Nash's pocket. Couldn't hit Kriapa, who had broken out long. Telfair coming off a good game against Dallas in that loss on Thursday. 12 points, 8 assists in just 18 minutes for Telfair in that one. Drops it to Miles. His jumper is home. So the Trailblazers back to within 1 now. Closing in on a minute and a half left first half. Nash hasn't knocked again, and he barks at Matt Boland. And then draws the foul as Miles looked to be still, but they're going to give that call back to Nash, especially after he chastised them the way he did.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
1:29 left first half. Blazers back to within 1.
Get away without playing a center against Phoenix. They don't post up anybody down low and get post-up points in the paint.
Tough pass by Randolph. Good catch by Kriapa. Will they score the goal?
Oh, yes.
Matt Boland going to talk to Bennett Salvatore.
Oh, yes.
And Bennett says before, so I don't think they're going to give it to him. No, they're not. So Kriapa will shoot 2. Bennett Salvatore talked him out of the call. Matt Boland, I think, was going to count this bucket as Kriapa fouled. It depends on when the whistle blew.
Yeah.
Victor will shoot 2 now.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of times in the NBA, as you said, MB, it depends on when the whistle blew. Boy, Kriapa, take your time. See how he just picked up the ball and his body weight was going back. He looked like you hitting a drive 3 fairways over.
Has that happened before?
Oh, now that looked like more like me splitting the middle.
Are you talking golf because Brian Henniger is sitting behind us?
Yeah, Brian Henniger's out tonight. His daughter was in one of the pre-routines, dance routines.
Tim Thomas, the miss there. Phoenix lead still 1. Trailblazers have led at one time only by 1.
So this Zach puts it down. They'll come to him.
Zach fouled on his way to the hoop. Foul on Tim Thomas. That is his second foul, and Zach Randolph back to the free throw line where he is 4 of 5.
Well, the Blazers are doing enough passing the ball out of the double team. That time, Phoenix didn't double team. So we'll have to keep an eye, and Mike D'Antoni will change up the coverage as the game goes along. If he sees he doesn't have to double team Zach, Zach's taking all outside shots, he'll call it off. That time they called it off, and Zach finally got to the free throw line.
And Portland back on top. There's Brian Henniger, who is sitting right behind you, Mike Rice.
Yeah.
We'll have to tell him we got him a little TV time. Brian, of course, from Canby, playing out of Willamette Valley and out of Oregon Golf Club.
Sure.
Nash inside, missed the shot. The follow by Marion is home. Blazers played good defense with the exception of getting a body on Sean Marion.
Well, they usually don't go to the board, so a lot of times you're not expecting Sean Marion to go in and do that. A great leaper, but not on the offensive board.
And Miles from the outside hits. Darius having a very nice first half, 4 of 5 shooting with 8 points.
See, no hand up. They just want to outscore you. Bench points, 31-7.
A lot of that due to Telfair, and Randolph, of course, came off the bench tonight.
Yeah, Randolph came off the bench tonight. He was late for the shoot-around.
Nash, Marion, shot clock running out. 2 seconds left. Zach from three-quarter court. Yes! It goes! You could see Zach had a good rhythm about him and let it fly, and down it went. The second shot this season from beyond half court for Portland.
It'll be a highlight, there's no doubt, and it may give the Blazers momentum going into the third quarter.
Take a look at it, obviously by our replay, well before the light went. There you see it, 6/10 left. And Randolph drops it down as Bennett Salvatore over to take a look at it on the replay. But it'll no doubt count as your wife there in the green loving what she sees, Mike Rice. As you see there, the shot easily will count for Portland, and trailing by 10 early, but no more as the Trailblazers take a 4-point lead to the locker room against the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix manhandled Portland back in December, and Phoenix Blazers trying to return the favor here tonight.
Steve Nash, he's coming out and challenging him and also moving the ball around. So Bassey's really done a job.
And this from nearly three-quarters court. You could see it was on its way and dropped down. Blazers by 4. Stats are next. In 9 respectively, and Miles a nice first half for the Trailblazers.
Interesting, the Blazers are starting Zach Randolph and not Travis Outlaw in this second half.
They lob it up to Marion, a set play, and Marion didn't come up with the catch. It wasn't a bad pass. And obviously Skinner is starting for Theo Ratliff, who went out with that sore ankle.
His head almost hit the rim, Sean Marion.
Maybe that was the problem.
And that was. He kind of had to duck. That was a great play to start the second half, that alley-oop.
Martell for 3. He gets run down as I think he came down on an ankle as he has rolled his right ankle, but he's up and okay. That's all the Trailblazers need, another ankle injury, as Steve Blake gets a pick out top from Randolph. Zach takes a hesitation dribble, which he seems to always do, and usually hits after that. So Portland has its largest lead of the game now at 6. Martell looks to be okay.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Zach is expanding his game, his outside shot. He has so much confidence in it now. I don't know if Nate McMillan loves that or not, but boy, look at
they lob again to Marion.
Yeah, their Blazers are switching on the pick and roll, and Nash immediately recognizes that Blake is going to be on Sean Marion. Zach has to double down as soon as Marion gets the ball, and that's tough against this three-point shooting Phoenix team.
They go inside to Zach. Marion went for the steal, and Zach finger rolls it up and in. He's got 17 now in the game on 5 of 9 shooting.
They don't look for weaknesses, this Phoenix team, and say, well, we're not going to play that guy because he can't do this or that. That's like Raja Bell. Raja Bell played for 4 other teams, Utah, the 76ers, Dallas, and you can see Zach right here.
Zach's upset at the call because Rodney Mott, who was 2 feet from the play, thought it was a clean steal, and Matt Boland, who was out near midcourt, called the foul on Randolph, and that means 2 free throws for Raja Bell and the first personal on Zach Randolph.
Yeah, Raja, they weren't quite sure how he would fit in with this Suns team. And as I said, Utah and 76ers, Dallas, he played in the CBA. They can never find a real role for him. They always knew he was a good, hard defender. But this team puts you in your role. You know what you're going to do. You're going to play good
and more
defense.
specifically, Steve Nash.
Yeah, and they put players that can play in this system. And Raja Bell, they gave him some money because they knew he could play, whereas most of the other teams he played with, they always said, well, he can't shoot well enough and he doesn't do this well enough. They look at Phoenix what you can do, and most of it has to do with offense.
Raja Bell D'ing up Martell Webster, but leaving him wide open. Martell wouldn't take the three. Skinner has it, 8 to shoot. Kriapa will take the three. That's his second of the game. So Kriapa drops another one down. 2 for 2 from behind the arc for Victor. He's got 7 points and 5 rebounds.
And he looked at Sean Marion, and he's talking to him right now that, hey, you're not the only one that can shoot. He's got the fever. Playing against Phoenix, he's acting like he can do everything they can do.
Blazers on top by 8. Again, this is their largest lead of the game. Diao down to Thomas. Victor blocks it. Picked up by Webster. Portland back 3 on 3.
What a great game Victor Kriapa's playing.
Blake to Skinner. Ball knocked away by Raja Bell. Clean play. Marion misses the lay-in. Rebound fought for. Thomas had it. Only 2 Trailblazers stayed in to rebound. That cost him. Raja Bell takes the 3 and hits. Boy, 3 Trailblazers wanted to get out in the fast break and did not go in to help the rebounding effort, and that cost Portland 3 points.
Well, Zach Randolph got hit in the nose, and he just walked out of bounds. And now he's coming back. His mouthpiece is out, and well, it's, you know, you've got to continue playing and then look down if you're playing against Phoenix.
And Martell Webster will be. We'll see that on film where he was trying to take off on that fast break and didn't stay in rebound. Blake, Victor again. Are you kidding me? At the shot clock buzzer, but had a foot on the line this time.
Usually they take Victor out if he misses a couple of shots and they put an offensive guy in.
I think he's got a few in the bank tonight.
Yeah, tonight he can stay in as he double teams Diao.
Diao out for another 3. Bell wouldn't take it. Ball in the corner. Marion stripped away by Blake. He goes down for it. I think Steve was out of bounds.
And
while touching the ball, so was Marion, but Bennett Salvatore, who hasn't given Portland a call all night, won't hear. Well, Phoenix will have it 6 to shoot.
The main thing is, how can Bennett Salvatore look at it and see from out court who's on the baseline as we see Kriapa shoot that nice shot. Now, Steve
Marion was inside of Blake as far as being closer to the baseline. That's what Portland, that's why they had a problem with it, and it cost them 2 points as Bell hits.
Poor communication on the switch that time by the Blazers on the out-of-bounds team. Very much like my son's team, St. Joe, against Xavier yesterday.
Webster for 3 right in front of the Phoenix bench. So Trailblazers starting to play a little 3-ball with the Suns, but that could be a dangerous game. Nash, what a shot, left it short. Up ahead is Kriapa, but not a good pass by Blake and knocked away. Portland will keep it.
Well, we made Webster our X factor simply because we thought he would get a lot of looks. But they've read the scouting report on him. They're out on him, and they put their best perimeter defender on him, Raja Bell. So they're not going to let Martell get loose tonight.
Blake around a pick by Skinner. Skinner was open momentarily. Martell wouldn't take the 3 this time. Raja Bell is a terrific defender. Blake will take the 3, and he rattles it down.
Well, if you've got some weapons out there.
Here comes Phoenix, though. You can't even take a breath. They will bust you at the other end, and they do it again. And Raja Bell has now scored Phoenix's last 9 points.
That time Martell put his head down running. You got to put your head up and know where everyone is on the floor.
Zach doesn't get the bounce, but does draw the foul. And Raja Bell and Steve Nash all over Bennett Salvatore, who's saying, hey, it's the first call I've given him all night. Back off.
Blazers continue to shoot from the perimeter. And we said early in the ball game, it's not a great thing to try to match this Suns team that takes 28 three-pointers a game as Nash and Bennett are talking, and it wasn't even Nash that did it.
He is Tim Thomas's proxy, I believe, out near midcourt. As Thomas picked up his 3rd foul on the play. Zach makes 1 of 2. Portland at the free throw line tonight, 9 of 12, so you can't really point at that. Skinner out top on Nash. Nash carried the basketball, but they're not going to call that. The crowd all over the call. Diaw flips it up off the board. Beautiful shot by Boris Diaw, who continues to play a strong game. 12 points for the Suns.
Boy, Nate was up. It definitely was palming on the part of Steve Nash, and he does commit more turnovers than anybody in the NBA. So, you know, he's so active and so aggressive.
Zach, a high arcing shot. The offense went stone dead when Zach got it in his hands. Marion in transition nearly had a look at the hoop, but couldn't quite get the catch as Diaw kicks to Marion, who's short with the shot. The rebound, Skinner.
Good defense by Skinner and getting that rebound.
Skinner. Another jumper out top. This time doesn't get the roll. Zebo tips it in, as he was the only trailblazer on the offensive boards.
Yeah, everyone else was going back on defense.
Raja Bell wouldn't take the 3. Here's Diaw with Skinner on him.
Look at the spacing of Phoenix. They really space it out so well.
Nash tried to hit the cutter. Blake got a hand on it. Portland out 3 on 2. Not a good pass. Kriapa up ahead, intercepted by Tim Thomas. And look out at the other end. Here comes Phoenix.
You can't drop off Steve Nash, because whereas other point guards may go back out and reset, not Steve Nash. He knows attack, attack, and attack some more.
Offensive foul as Raja Bell went flying. And the foul will go against Brian Skinner, trying to get a pick to Zach Randolph. 5:51 left, 3rd quarter. Trailblazers continue to lead.
He is an active help guy, and sometimes that'll hurt you when he helps out too much. But tonight, he's making the outside shot, and that really is bringing Phoenix defense out. They love to clog the middle and make you shoot outside. So if you have a guy like Victor that makes a few outside shots, it really hurts their clog-up defense.
This is the point last night when Phoenix caught fire and ran away from Minnesota. They ended up winning the game by 8, but it was about the midway point of the 3rd quarter when Phoenix went on a 10-2 run, and the Timberwolves were never able to recover.
Well, you ask all the time, how can Boris Diaw shoot 7 for 11 when he couldn't get off the bench for the Hawks?
Right situation.
Yeah.
Blake inside. Skinner had Nash on him, and he lays it in. As a good pass by Steve Blake, who saw the mismatch.
Points in the paint. The Blazers continue to dominate that category.
Nash splits the double team. Kicks in the corner. Leandro Barbosa throws up the shot. It won't count, but it will get him 2 free throws.
If you
Foul
look
on Martell Webster.
You can always tell how the Blazers and the Suns are doing if you see that points in the paint. The Blazers continue to pound it in, but you can always tell how the teams are doing by looking at the assist total. This Phoenix team will always have a lot of assists. They average 27 on the year. They have 15 right now, so that's a little below what they normally do, and the Blazers' assists are way up. They are averaging less than they have right now. They have 17 assists right now, so they are matching Phoenix. That's why they're ahead in this game.
In that 2nd quarter, when Portland came and took the lead, Phoenix only had 3 assists that entire quarter, as Barbosa makes 1 of 2.
That's pretty good getting out to the shooters, something the Blazers are not known for.
Double out near midcourt. That took Nash and Marion out of it. But the ball got to Zach Randolph. 10 to shoot, takes a long 2, rattles it out. Skinner, the offensive board. Blake left open for the 3, instead goes to Zach, who's doubled. Now the skip pass to Kriapa for 2. Yes, sir! Phoenix bench going crazy, wanting a moving pick on Martell Webster.
That was a great pick by Martell Webster. Something you have to do.
They lob it to Marion. The pass is off. The ball is tipped away by Martell.
And Martell's making some smart moves tonight. He's not scoring a lot, but he's doing it all.
Blake to Zach. Couldn't finish. Couldn't get the follow. Rebound Marion. Boy, a big miss by Portland there.
Yeah, Zach has 6 offensive rebounds. Really has done a nice job in that area, but you got to come.
As Kriapa nearly had the steal there, somehow the ball got to Rajabel, and Skinner had to foul Marion, who would have finished easily, but might as well make him run into the free throw line.
Either team has gone to their bench much in this third quarter. Early in the ball game, both teams, the Blazers used 10 men. And the one, Jared Jack played 9 minutes, and he had the least amount of minutes of any of the Blazers, so they played a lot of people in that first half. On the other hand, the Phoenix Suns only played 8 people in that first half, but they're used to running and running and running some more, so don't look for them, even though they played last night, to get tired.
1 of 2 for Marion. Phoenix tonight just 4 of 8 at the free throw line. You're talking about a team that is number 1 in the NBA in free throw shooting at 82% per game.
Look at Nash get around. They say he doesn't play defense, but he can get around picks.
Blake pulls up top of the key and cans that over Nash.
Yeah, Nash usually will let you go in a little bit more. That time he really played Blake, and Blake came up with a big shot.
They get the switch at this end. Now Marion has Blake, gets away with a push, but it doesn't matter. They turn it over anyway. And Brian Skinner talking to Matt Boland about the little push off that Marion got away with on Steve Blake. But take a look at Blake at the offensive end.
Yeah, and he has really the last, I'd say, 14 games, he's thinking of scoring a lot more than he did early in the year when he was strictly an assist guy.
Well, he's getting these nice picks from Brian Skinner. Big reason why. The time his offense picked up was about the time Skinner came around. Webster for 3, no! Rebound Marion as it rattled out. And here comes Phoenix, trailing by 9. Nash around Kriapa, hands to Diaw inside. Diaw's jump hook is home.
Notice Nash looked up and he saw Kriapa on him, so he kept the dribble and then he looked for Kriapa's man. That's what a great point guard does. He examines the situation and then comes up with a winning play, which he did. He dropped it into Diaw in close.
Blake takes a long 2. It rattles out. So Blazers have had a couple halfway down but wouldn't stay. Here comes Bell back the other way for Phoenix.
If you're Nate McMillan now, you have to determine when to take Blake out of the game. Is he tired now? Should we bring Sebastian back in?
Well, and Telfer had a terrific first half. We'll wait and see. That's Kriapa's first foul, by the way. 2:35 left third quarter. Trailblazers still lead by 7. Had back in 1976 in a game, how many turnovers?
That was a bad team that year. So
well, it wasn't.
I'd say 24.
They had 40.
Oh.
But that was the 75-76 team. As Marion on the set play gets the dunk from Nash. We'll see if that maybe lights a fire into this Phoenix team that continues to trail here in the second half. It is only 5 now.
Well, they've been trying to get alley-oops to Sean Marion in different ways to get him involved in the game. And that was the first time he caught the ball clean and didn't really put it away. He gets a lot of those usually in a game.
Miles had that tip by Marion. He gathers it in. You see an extra hop to Phoenix's step now out of that timeout. They are ready to turn it on as Diaw flips it out to Barbosa, the best three-point shooter in the league, and he cans it. You got to find him in transition if you're Portland. It's a 2-point game.
Yeah, you know, that's not considered a fast break, but it should be because the Blazer defenders were all in the 3-second lane, and they just kicked it back out to Barbosa, and he was wide open.
Zach Randolph and Steve Blake had a pick and roll set up. Zach didn't roll. Now he has it against Diaw. 5 to shoot. Zebo still with it. Step back long jumper is short. Nash with it. Up ahead is Barbosa. Makes the catch. Jarrett Jack on him. Now Nash will kick to Rajabel for the open 3, and all of a sudden, just like that, it happens that quickly. Phoenix has the lead back.
Something woke them up. I don't know what. But
you could see it out of the timeout.
Yeah, right out of the timeout. And we mentioned about substituting against this team. Don't try to have your starters play the whole ball game as the Blazers really executed, but they come right back. If you're not ready, they'll come right back at you.
And Nate McMillan waving at his team to get back on defenses. Both players stayed up with Nash, Zach Randolph and Steve Blake, and that left a wide open path to the hoop.
Yeah, you've got to be smart when you play against Phoenix. You got to see what's coming ahead of time. That pick and roll was quite obvious, and the weak side didn't help out at all.
Darius Miles, then a nice night shooting from the field. 5 of 7 now, and he gives the Trailblazers the lead back as we are down to 35 seconds here in quarter number 3.
Now they're going to try to get Diaw.
Look at that number. That is nuts.
Yeah, that is 47 to 11.
They swing to Barbosa. He swings to Marion, and he's fouled by Kriapa. That's Victor's second foul, and will be penalty time for Portland.
See, they looked, what advantage do we have? Well, they saw Zach Randolph was checking Diaw. So they said, let's put Zach in a pick and roll situation. And then when they come over, they didn't help out last time. This time they'll help too much, and we'll be able to swing the ball over to Sean Marion to go one-on-one on Kriapa. So they space so well, and they recognize they're like an old-time team. Remember when the NBA was all advantage, disadvantage? You know, they try to find an advantage and then take advantage of it. It's gone to motion offenses, and they try to incorporate a little more 5-on-5 with the new rules. But, oh, Phoenix just finds your weakness and then just takes advantage.
Shot clock is off. Telfair has it against Nash up top. He and Miles playing a two-man game. They swing to Jarrett Jack. He goes inside to Zebo. Zach had the shot blocked, but right to Miles, who puts it down. And Zach complaining about the call. He's got to get back on defense. Phoenix comes back 2-on-2. Raja Bell had it blocked at the buzzer, and that'll do it as Raja Bell furious at Rodney Mott, but no foul call. And the Trailblazers withstand the Phoenix rally. The Suns did grab the lead, but the Blazers grabbed it back and will take it to quarter number 4. 80-79 Blazers here in Portland. Keep a 1-point lead. Zach Randolph with 22 points in the game. Works down low. Marion just had that set on a tee for him as he whapped it out of bounds. In fact, got the block so easily, probably if he hadn't blocked it so hard, they'd have the basketball.
If the Blazers could have Darius Miles go low with James Jones.
And he was early.
Yeah, he'd score on him. Jones doesn't like it down there. He doesn't like the bump and the bruising.
Telfair, tough shot, blocked out of bounds to Portland. 3 to shoot this time.
Blazers taking a chance right here. They have Travis in the game. They have Darius Miles, not known for their getting back on defense. And this Suns team that's in the game, they'll try to run it.
Zach misses the shot. Shot clock at 1. Zebo still down, now just getting to his feet. Phoenix the other way with transition. A full head of steam, that is. Eddie House misses the 3. And Portland looks to run the other way.
Against Phoenix, you just can't say, well, my man's not down. I can take it easy going down. You've got to run down if you're a Blazer.
Miles again from the outside. 14 points on 7 of 9 shooting.
Yeah, that's as consistent as I've seen Darius shooting the outside shot. He hasn't played a lot of minutes in this game, so maybe keeping him fresh is the answer.
Barbosa given a pick by Diaw out top, keeping Miles away. Barbosa wouldn't take the 3. Diaw goes to work on Miles, back to the best three-point shooter in the league, and this one's a little long. Marion, though, the best rebounder in the league, keeps it alive for the Suns. Diaw's floater then is off. Rebound, Diaw. James Jones for 3, wide open.
Now, I didn't say James Jones couldn't shoot. I said he's a little soft on the defensive end, and that's something that you don't usually see from Phoenix, getting offensive rebounds like that. The Blazers really have to work on that, and they could win this game.
Zach double teamed, ball loose. Zach trying to save, out of bounds. Turnover Portland as they are bringing the double team quickly now. As that time Zach didn't even see the help defense coming over.
Yeah, the Blazers have designated Zach as their go-to guy right now. And Phoenix immediately, Mike D'Antoni said, put the double on him every time. Take him out of the offense.
And Phoenix, as always, spreading the offense. Barbosa wants to take the rookie Jarrett Jack. Great move by Barbosa. And not bad defense by Jack, just a better move. As Barbosa off the bench for Phoenix now with 11.
The young man from Brazil is coming alive, taking Nash's place. Barbosa.
Miles puts it on the floor and steps back over Diaw, and that shot well short. The rebound, Marion.
Yeah, that's the worst shot Darius has taken tonight as far as shot selection goes.
As we talked about, Phoenix so explosive. When you think you're in a ball game, it doesn't take them long. Diao has Jarrett Jack. Didn't want to take it. James Jones again. This is a long 2 as he had a foot on the line. James Jones only a 38% three-point shooter, which on this team has you way down in the middle of the list.
Well, normally they get about 30 points a game from their bench, and most of the guys in the game right now are the bench guys, and they're keeping that attack spread.
Travis Outlaw, that is a big answer for Portland. That brings them back to within 2. You got to try to weather the storm when Phoenix is feeling it, and Barbosa is one of the Suns who is feeling it right now.
Now, if Darius leaves Barbosa, he'll get the 3.
Diao, easy drive to the hoop as Jarrett Jack with a tough matchup on his hands.
Yeah, now they've found a match they like. Let's see if the Blazers now, they put Diao on Miles to take him out of the game.
Barbosa went for the steal. That left Jarrett Jack open for the 2, and he buries that. Jarrett Jack, his first field goal off the bench, couple of points for him.
Suns love this exchanging hoops. Pretty soon they'll get a spurt going.
Barbosa nearly traveled with the ball, but didn't. Eddie House down the middle, going to challenge Miles, kicks it out. James Jones for 2. It's off, and the rebound to Travis Outlaw. Portland numbers if they want it. Miles baseline, wouldn't take the shot, and an offensive foul called on Darius on the baseline as he went through James Jones. Crowd didn't like the call, but Phoenix will have it back with a 2-point lead and 8:05 to go from the Rose Garden in Portland.
Game, Steve Blake has 11 assists, and he's
Steve
5
Johnson,
for
the
8.
former Oregon State Beaver. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah.
When we show Oregon State guys, we got to get them in.
Absolutely. After the great season they've had, huh?
Why would you do that?
I'm just...
Send your emails and letters to Mike Rice.
Steve Nash.
Ooh, steal by Telfair. Is he going to challenge Marion? He was timing it. Oh, he scores. It should have been goaltending anyway. As Diao jumped up and grabbed the rim, and nobody made the call. It didn't matter because Telfair had scored, and they tied the game again at 88.
Steve Nash out of the game now for the last 5 minutes. They've done well without him, but remember, he has 14 assists tonight.
Diao missed the lay-in, rebound Randolph. It was under pressure by Zach, good defense. Blake thought about the 3. They go inside to Zach. He goes up through Marion and scores. But here comes Phoenix. Eddie House gets the inbounds. Blazers have to keep getting back on defense.
Yeah, and the reason Zach was able to do that, Steve Blake has hit a couple from the corner.
Foul on Telfair on the drive. Do they score the bucket or not? Rodney Mott taking a long look at Bennett Salvatore.
No, over on the
No,
side.
on the side. Take a look at the steal a minute ago by Telfair and the nice finish.
Yeah, this is a great shot. Look at this. He uses the rim.
It was Marion actually who grabbed the rim. I said Diaz.
Yeah.
Eddie House, top of the key jumper, well short, rebounds Zach. As Randolph, 24 points and 10 rebounds. He's got his double-double.
Yeah, and he yelled to Sebastian. I believe he wants the ball. Boy, he's looking at that three-point shot.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Miles, nice move on Diao, can't finish. Rebound Zach, and the bucket, and the foul. So give Zach 11 rebounds and 26 points with a chance at 27 coming up.
Yeah, and Zach is really playing a team game tonight. He remains second in the NBA at second chance points, and he really did a nice job of following the shot in. That's something Travis Outlaw, I wish, would do a little bit more of, following the shooter in when someone helps off of his man. Steve Nash quickly comes back in the game.
And the cavalry comes back in. Raja Bell, Steve Nash, Tim Thomas.
Hasn't been a great scoring night for Steve Nash, but he doesn't need a great scoring night. He's 2 for 5 from the floor, but he has 14 assists. And he had a nice 6-7 minute rest right there. So he'll be good for the last 7 minutes of this game.
I should remind you that not only is Nash good in the assist department tonight, but Steve Blake for Portland, 11 assists, no turnovers in this game. Raja Bell, tough shot, it's off. Zebo, rebound number 12.
And how far will Sean Marion be for coming back into this game? They miss him.
Blake down low, Miles with it against Diao. Darius skips to Zach, who takes a three. It's long, rebound, up and over and out. And so it's Phoenix ball. And Mike Rice?
Look at Nate. Nate is wondering about that three-point shot.
But as you said earlier, Zach has been shooting them well as of late. So if it's in rhythm, but take a look at Blake's line tonight. 13 points, 12 assists, 0 turnovers. Nash for three. Shouldn't have given a compliment to Blake.
Yeah.
Nash takes it personally and hits a three.
Well, Blake has been getting away with going behind the pick and roll. Nash all of a sudden said, no, I'm rested now, and he can make that shot, Nash. Last night he had 31.
I was going to say, keep in mind they did play last night in Phoenix at the tough back-to-back. As foul on Tim Thomas, and that's the second team foul on the Suns, so no free throws for Zach. Portland will inbound with 14 to shoot. As we take a look at Steve Nash, not a great offensive night as you said, but 9 points to go along with 14 assists, trying to bring the Suns from behind here in Portland.
Head coaches
Correct.
tonight.
Miles stays on the floor with Telfair, Outlaw, Randolph, and Blake. Zach has it down low, goes up against a double team, and somehow gets it down. Zach has 29 and 12.
You can't beat that, and most of them have been good shots, both inside and outside.
Boris Diaw, wide open three, long, rebound, Zebo fighting for it, dug out by Nash.
He does a little bit of everything.
Diaw wide open in the middle, kicks to James Jones for three. That's short, rebound, nearly got away from Portland, but Zach finally put a fork in it. Here comes Telfair.
And finally, Phoenix is really going after the offensive boards because the Blazers aren't fast breaking, so they're sending four to the board.
Miles double team, they skip to Blake. Is Blake playing the two-guard spot, which is unusual, but they can get away with it against Phoenix. Blake for three with 2 on the shot clock.
Tim Thomas didn't recognize there was only 2 on the shot clock, and he let the smaller Blake get away with it.
Thomas had it knocked away by Outlaw. Again, he gets away with a shot on Steve Blake, who's doing his best in the post. Take a look at Blake offensively.
And look at Thomas back up. It doesn't even put a hand up till Blake goes up for the shot.
Tell you what, Steve Blake has held his own with Steve Nash tonight.
And that's
In
why.
fact, you could argue he's done more than hold his own.
Yeah, and that's why we had it as one of our matchups.
Marion,
Oh.
the floater is home.
You've got to stop Sean Marion in the fourth quarter, along with Nowitzki that the Blazers had against Dallas. Sean Marion does the same thing in the fourth quarter, one of the most explosive players in the league in the fourth quarter.
Blake gets a huge pick from Randolph. Down goes Raja Bell. And did they call a foul, an offensive foul on the pick? They called it on Zach Randolph. I want to see this replay, and I don't want to see Raja Bell hurt. But it looked to be a pretty good pick by Zach Randolph. Take a look here. I don't see him moving. I didn't see him move an arm.
I've got a light on my screen. Let me take a look at this right here now.
The other angle was better, but
Yeah, Raja.
here you go. Here's a good angle. Zach Randolph coming to give the pick. I don't see anything illegal about that pick at all.
Yeah, he moved the shoulder just about an inch, that's all.
Timeout on the floor as they're taking a look. Dirty and not even an illegal pick, as Zach didn't move into Raja Bell. If anybody, blame Tim Thomas for not telling his teammate about the pick, as Raja Bell was picked off there by Zach's right shoulder.
Yeah, it was Zach moving in one direction and then trying to stop, and Raja Bell really running hard to get over the top of the pick on a guy that's really shot the ball well, Steve Blake, so they were trying to stop Blake.
Nash, hesitation move on Telfair. Tim Thomas lost control of it. Zach blocks the shot after Thomas had got around him.
That was a nice block. It's something you don't see Zach do very often. He is not a shot blocker. Those guys are on the bench, as we found out earlier. Theo Ratliff hurt his ankle, and he hasn't been in the game since.
Miles gets Marion in the air and finishes with 3 on the shot clock. Trailblazers by 7.
And they've slowed up Phoenix. Phoenix is not trying to push it up as much as they were earlier.
Nash down the middle, takes the hit and finishes. Beautiful shot by Steve Nash.
He's, as we said earlier, a lot bigger than you think. If you look at him next to Steve Blake, much bigger, about 2 inches taller.
Blake skips to Outlaw, who's getting some meaningful minutes here in crunch time. Telfair, Blake wouldn't take the 3. Miles takes the deep 2, and it's long, and no rebounders home but Suns, and Diao has it to Nash. Nash gets to the middle, hands it off to Marion, who finishes, and just like that, it's a 3-point game again.
Yeah, they're going to have to concentrate a little bit more on Sean Marion because Nash is looking for him every time down when he penetrates. And Nash is penetrating without a pick and roll.
Kick ball as Telfair was trying to go to Zach Randolph on the pick and roll as we're down to 2:47 left in the game. Zach Randolph, 29 points, 14 rebounds. Steve Blake, 16 points, 12 assists. Let's take a look at Nash. Getting assist number 15. Blake doubled out top. Travis Outlaw takes the mid-range jumper, leaves it long, rebound Nash.
Phoenix knows how to close. You don't win all those games with not closing.
Telfair strips it away, but right to Marion, who misses the jumper. Boy, great defense by Telfair to move his feet and not foul, and then somehow strip that ball away from Nash.
I like the fact that they've taken Steve Blake off of him and put Sebastian on Nash.
Miles drops it down to Zebo. The double comes. Miles inside, off the glass.
Well, you have to like that by Zach Randolph, taking the double team, passing over it to a wide open Darius Miles.
Miles with 18. Offensive foul, Tim Thomas, who wipes out Telfair with the pick.
Well, that was the same type of pick that Zach Randolph used, exactly the same. And the Suns shouldn't have a complaint there because
Telfair did a nice job to sell the call, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Sebastian playing in crunch time and doing a good job both on defensive end and the offensive end.
Blake has been terrific tonight. Blake goes baseline, drops it to Outlaw. Oh, he double clutches and gets it home. And Mike D'Antoni wants a timeout. Nash trying to take it and doesn't until now. And now he'll take the timeout as he thought he had an advantage. But Phoenix will go to the timeout, trailing with 1:39 left. 104-97.
Look at Blake. Blake all the way looked for...
Travis was going to pack it, and he saw Diao.
Yeah, he did a nice job of adjusting. Both players did, Blake and Travis Outlaw, youngest team in the NBA, going right at the Phoenix Suns, who have the the third best record in the West. And the Blazers now are going to have to make some foul shots going down the stretch, because this Phoenix team will get very aggressive, double teaming, trying to get into the passing lanes, trying to get some steals. And you can see the comparison that we made early in the ball game. A lot of people giggled at us, but look at Blake, 16, 6 for 9, and 13 assists. Is that a career high?
Yes, it is. And 3 for 3 from behind the three-point line. So at times you've talked about Steve Blake, who is younger than Steve Nash, perhaps getting to that point one day. And tonight would certainly make you think that that is possible.
And I think Nate McMillan did a great job of deciding that I'll put Sebastian Telfair in and put him on Steve Nash and let Blake and Telfair take turns on the offensive end running the team. And they're still moving the ball side to side from one side of the floor to the other. And that's how they're getting Zach Randolph open without a double team, because they're not just trying to directly throw it in. They're carrying out a game plan in the fourth quarter. Who would have thought it?
Trailblazers out rebounding Phoenix 43-30, and Phoenix is not a great rebounding team, so that's not a huge surprise, but Portland is not either.
Yeah, on the defensive end, they are, not on the offensive end. They never get offensive rebounds. It'll be interesting to see if the Blazers can stop them in the second chance points.
A lot of time left, especially for this Phoenix team. Diao backing down against Miles. They kick it out to Nash. Takes a tough fadeaway two at the elbow and cans it over Steve Blake. So Nash now with 13 points.
Boy, that was great defense. And Nash wanted it all the way. Blake wouldn't let him get the ball. They did a nice job of getting it to their main guy. That's what you have to do in crunch time. Let's see if the Blazers can do the same thing.
They swing it. Kriapa. Darius hits again with 5 to shoot.
And it went from side to side, one side of the court to the other. Phoenix couldn't do anything about it.
Nash for 3 over Zach. No, rebound Miles. 1 minute left.
Could this be the upset of the year? Phoenix coming in.
Well, they murdered Portland back on December 6th in that game, 130 to 85. And we talked about Portland wanting to return the favor. Not many thought it was possible. Blake, oh, he takes the hit and scores.
And the crowd smells it now.
Look at them on their feet. 35 seconds. Thomas for 3. No! Rebound Miles.
Shut the door. It's over.
Oh, you're very confident.
Yes, I am.
Telfair. Phoenix going to have to foul now. Sebastian to Miles. 15 seconds left. Kriapa. Will he take the 3? No. Will Zach? Yes. And hits it with 10 seconds left. So the Trailblazers going to hit the road for 4 games, coming off a nice win against the Phoenix Suns. And a foul call. Goaltending is called.
That's all right. That puts a capper on it.
As the Trailblazers get the victory here tonight. 111-101. And this huge crowd at the Rose Garden tonight has reason to celebrate at the end. As I mentioned, the Blazers hit the road now, but oh, how nice it is to hit the road with a victory like that, Mike Rice.
Now, there's no doubt the Blazers, Steve Blake came through. Zach ran on outlaw. He didn't explode like the nature that he used to before the knee injury. But I like him going to the rim.
Jacques Vaughn again keeps shooting that. Miles pulls down the rebound.
I don't think Carter's missed one tonight, and they won't give him the ball. But they are getting good shots. They're really moving the ball well, the Nets. It's a good thing they're missing the easy ones, as they're keeping the ball out of Telfair's hands.
5 seconds left. Miles to the rim. No, but he's fouled as Darius had it out top. I'm not sure was aware of the clock, and Nate hollered out with 6 seconds left. We got to do something. And so Darius took off with it and created and earned himself a couple of free throws.
See, Darius has to see that. They were overplaying Telfair. They knew the shot clock was running down. Vince Carter did a nice job of keeping it from Telfair, and Nate jumped up and told Darius, go on Cliff.
Well, he was concentrating on trying to get the ball in his point guard's hands, and Telfair was being defended very well. And so Miles had to make something happen and did, and he makes the first free throw. Lamont Murray in, and Jason Collins will sit down.
This was another guy that was dead on the bench, and then all of a sudden they lost 5 out of 6, and then they go to New Orleans and knock them out of the top 8 spots. They go to Houston and beat them. Houston suffers a dagger as far as their playoff
Here's
hopes.
Carter from midcourt. Boy, and for Vince Carter, it's not even a throw. It's practically a jump shot from midcourt, and he cans it for 3. And with that, the Nets get to within 1 of the Trailblazers after 1. Boy, have we seen enough of those lately? Blazers by 1 after 1.
Joe.